up, everyone.
Hey, welcome.
Hey,
Hello.
we're all northern today.
Oh,
I'm Autumn Witch.
and I'm Waltreen Studio.
I am Heater.
Northern United States, it counts. So, how are we all doing?
Yep. I think, well, apart from like various illnesses and bugs that have been going around.
These are the plague times, and you are a disciple of Nurgle, so I choose to blame you.
Yes. I'm sure it was all me. It was. I blame UK Games Expo.
Yep, bunch of diseased carriers and stuff. Anyway, so what I thought we'd do today is, because a lot of people weren't able to pre-order the Leviathan box, who want the Leviathan box and the contents of the Leviathan box, I thought it would be interesting to have a look at, on the Space Marine side, because that's where we're more knowledgeable, which of the actual sprues from the box will be getting a release, or either as an individual thing or in a bundle at some point for those who wanted the stuff but can't get it. So, yep, what we have here is the contents of the box, and it's lots of stuff, and it looks great. But yeah, shall we just start at the very beginning with the Terminator Captain?
Go for it.
And there is his sprue there. He's got a separate left shoulder pad, which is going to make my life so much easier when I convert him to Death Watch. But yeah, now if we go by previous 40k editions from my 8th and 9th, the Captain in the box didn't get a individual release.
Yeah, I think they've done that, and a lot of the Death Guard stuff I remember from back in 8th, it took ages for them to release it, and then it's like you get sprues in a box that have got bits of models that you don't have the full thing for. It's just a nightmare. So having captains like this, like the Necrons in last edition did have these, the ones that can be sold separately later.
Yeah. Now, the in the previous version of the Indomitus box, it was a Blade Guard Captain, and that model still isn't available separately. You have to buy one of the 9th Ed starter sets for it.
Yeah,
and
but they're about the same price as a character, aren't they?
Yeah, but those actual models themselves, there isn't like a multi-part one or a multi-pose one. It's just that one model, and it's just available in that set. But I think that's what's going to happen. It's like in your previous video, Pete, what you said about the cheaper one having one HQ and the more expensive one having the Captain.
Well, they've showing the sprues on the website, which I hadn't expected.
Yeah.
And I'm not sure about the Tyranids, but the rest of it looks like they can break it all up however the hell they want. We might, everything from the box is probably going to end up in its own little easy to build kit at some point.
Yeah, there's a couple of sprues though that are going to make that a bit difficult. We'll crack on and we'll get to them quickly.
And the way that the Dreadnought divides up, because it's spread across 3 different sprues, makes me think they're going to swap part of that out to get a new Dreadnought build. Don't know what it'd be. Yeah,
like they've done with the Heresy vehicles. Okay, so let's move over to the Terminator Librarian. Again, with a separate left shoulder pad for easy Death Watchification, which is good.
So you've got the 2 Terminator characters both on single sprues like this.
Yeah. So I'm thinking that in the cheaper box, it'll be the Terminator Librarian. I also think
that the Lieutenant.
We'll get to that in a minute. That's what I thought as well until I saw the actual sprues. But
apologies if any coughing fits make it into the final edit of this.
They probably will, but if you just say praise Nurgle afterwards, I'm sure
Praise
the community will forgive you. Well, some of them. The Black Templars might not, but yeah. So I'm thinking that this guy, because he's it's a separate character on a sprue, I think that if either of these are going to get like an individual like blister pack release, it'll be this one and not the captain. I think they might have like planned a captain down the line, like one with more like weapon options.
It does seem like the kind of thing that captain definitely would require some options, whereas a lot of the psychers don't have any at all.
Yeah, so that's what I'm thinking. They did discontinue the plastic Terminator Librarian, so it's making me think that
that was a good kit. That was.
It was a good kit, and it makes me think that this might be, might come out on like a single release. Now, with regards to the lieutenant or
or the like, share, subscribe tenant.
Indeed. See, here's the issue with having him as like an individual character. That's him.
Oh.
There. Wow. That's Sterngard. And the apothecary as well. They all on sprue.
So really, it's like the kind of Necron Royal Court thing. What was there was like a Necron sprue that had...
It was the Necron Royal Court.
Yeah, and there was in like ninth, there was these dudes as well that didn't make it to any of the starter sets or to individual release, because there's 3 Eradicators there, and those Eradicators got their own multi-part kit, as did the Blade Guard. But the Blade Guard, Ancient, Judicar, and Chaplain, who I think is the best looking Primaris Chaplain, one of the best looking Primaris characters.
It is a cool model.
Yeah, and just to not get him as like an individual release felt like a bit of a letdown, because the first Primaris one is,
I think the Black Templars got the parts to make a chapter-specific Judicar, but that's not the release of the Judicar on its own.
Yeah.
But so is that all of the Sterngard and the Lieutenant on there?
Is, I have counted. There's 1 Sterngard there, 2, 3, 4, 5. So all the Sterngard are on the same sprue as the like, share, and subscribe tenant and the apothecary Biologus.
So that'll be the super best friends.
Yeah.
And then the medium starter will have the Terminators.
I think. I'm not sure. I think that there's going to be a multi-part Sterngard kit, and I'm not sure what that means for the apothecary and the lieutenant, as to whether there's like another version of them gets released. I mean, I would predict, if you're like looking to grab the stuff from the box, that eBay would be your best bet for these units. Because I know you said that you wanted the apothecary, so I don't think there's going to be a release for him. Well, there won't be for this version of him, but
definitely not.
Yeah.
No. So it's in a way it's kind of disappointing, but you can just get them on eBay cheaper. So and like plenty of people obviously be picking up the starter boxes of some size, whether you go for like Leviathan itself or wait till the 3-tiered ones drop.
Yeah.
There's definitely going to be a lot of these sprues around. It always happens at the start of an edition. Like, those things become like absolutely worthless by the end of the edition. Like, you couldn't give them away.
Yeah. Okay. Let's move on to... Now, here we are with the Flamey Boys, the Infernus squad. Now
that is Nurgle.
This would be a 50-50, in my opinion, whether they're going to do another release of this, because it's, but it's Flame Troopers, but they already have one, but they're having production problems, so.
Yeah, well, you get two. You supposedly get 2 of this sprue. There's 5 on each. I get the feeling that these will be that 1 sprue of 5 of them will be in one of the tiered starter boxes. But of all of them, I think that this one might be the most likely to get an individual release as is.
Except they're having production problems, and it's kind of a boring sprue.
There is that.
They maybe they'll do something with different weapon layouts, loadouts, but we would have seen that already in the indices, unless it's coming after the codex.
Yeah, I mean the indices are incomplete at the moment. They don't have points values on them.
Well, they won't. They're going to be using a PDF online with points values in the future.
Yeah. But
now, sorry, Tammy, I haven't had a chance to check out the like loyalist indexes that have been up. Are these still elite troops rather than like regular?
That's another thing. It doesn't really say. I mean, I'll pull this one up. So I was going to make a point about the Ballistus Dreadnought in a bit, but keywords: vehicle, walker, Imperium, Ballistus Dreadnought. There is, unless it's on there and I'm just, not seeing it. There's nothing that says whether this is an elite unit or a heavy unit. If we move down, we've got like an assault squad here. It doesn't really. I mean, it says like assault squad on it, but it doesn't actually say like it's a fast attack or a battle line or whatever. Which I think they're waiting until stuff has been released before they'd let you know what is in what category. I mean, dreadnoughts.
Yeah, it hasn't been anywhere up on any of the rules things. I'm surprised at that. So,
yeah, although it does say in the rules that you are limited to certain types of battle rolls in an army. So they haven't given out the points values or the battle roll information yet. I think that's coming. I think that's coming once the set is out.
I think they said something about 3 of any card and then 6 of like battle line. But you're right. There's no. It's almost like when they said they're getting rid of detachment charts. They meant it.
Yeah.
But could be interesting.
Yeah. But they aren't getting rid of these. Obviously, it's in the rules that that they're important to how you make up a list. So.
Okay.
I mean, most dreadnoughts in like 8th and 9th edition, with the exception of the Mortis Dreadnought with like the double guns, which was a heavy support option, all the others have been considered elites. But I think with the Ballistus Dreadnought, because it's all about its firepower, that should really be a heavy support choice. But yeah, hang on, let's go back to so we've got the flamer dudes there. And I think that may be just like a simple box they stick them in. But let's move on to the Terminators. I think the Terminators will be the main troops in the starter boxes. So for like the cheapest one, you'll have like the Librarian and the Terminator squad, and then for the next one up, it'll be the Captain, the Terminator squad, and 5 Infernus guys. But yeah, now this is a 2 sprue kit.
So is that a large 1.5 sized one? It looks like.
Yeah. Now what I'm wondering, and this goes the same as the Dreadnought. Now, if we look at the Contemptor Dreadnought from the new Contemptor kit from the Horus Heresy. It was included in the Age of Darkness box. However, this sprue here was not included in the Age of Darkness box. So the one with like the basic body and panels was in there. This weapon sprue was in there. This sprue with the Volkite and the extra armor paneling, plasma cannon, assault cannon, whatever, that wasn't in there. That was a separate part of the individual kit. So I'm wondering if we might be heading that way with the Terminator kit and the Ballista's Dreadnought.
That would be interesting. It would kind of follow the pattern of a lot of the kill teams having like upgrade sprues for basic troops and stuff like that they've done. I think a lot of people would like it just because, like, at least the last couple of editions, it seems the kits have become increasingly like monopose and there's not enough options with them.
Yeah.
So that would be a way to settle it, even if you did have to pay extra for it.
Yeah.
Do you know what I think?
I
don't think we will see another Terminator kit like this, but we will see chapter-specific Terminator kits as the chapters each get their codex.
Yeah. However, there are options on the index for weapons that aren't available on this sprue, namely chain fist, cyclone missile launcher, heavy flamer.
Yeah, I like to add like to Peter's prediction.
Yeah.
What's the Terminator for every faction that GW like loves out of all kind of ratio to any metric? Grey Knights. We're going to be getting Grey Knights soon.
Yeah. Well, they certainly won't be like just an upgrade to this kit. This is very much the vanilla Marine type. But yeah. Now, interestingly,
the web store doesn't note heavy support, fast attack, or heavy support, fast attack, or elite in the units by keyword anymore.
No, they don't.
Those are going away. The slots are going away.
Maybe they're getting shaken up. That's why they've taken them off, and then they're going to reintroduce them with a bit of a shuffle round as to what goes into what.
Well, okay.
Yeah.
So that's the Terminators then, I guess.
That's the Terminators, and that's the other Terminators.
And the old Terminators are still for sale. Yeah. The old Terminator Assault Squad with the chain fists.
The Assault Squad with the Lightning Claws and the Thunderhammer and Storm Shields are still for sale. The bodies in those... There's 3 sprues in that kit, and 2 of them are identical to the ones in the old Terminator kit. That's the bodies and the heads and stuff. And then the weapons are on a separate sprue. So in the Assault Terminator squad, you got your Thunderhammers and your Lightning Claws and your Storm Shields. And in the regular Terminator squad, you got your Storm Bolters, your Power Fists, your Chain Fists, your Assault Cannon, Cyclone Missile Launcher, and Heavy Flamer. So yeah.
It would make sense to have this as the vanilla unit, and then when the Space Marine like full launch drops in, I guess, autumn, we'll probably see like a dedicated assault squad and a dedicated like heavy weapons squad, maybe.
Yeah, but yeah, I think that this is going to be the main troop choice in all levels of the tiered starter boxes that will be coming out once people are getting annoyed that they weren't able to grab a copy of Leviathan. But yeah, okay, so here we are on to the Ballista's Dreadnought, and it's 3 sprues. We've gone too far and ended up being eaten by a Tyranid. But yeah, so you've got your double las cannon, and you've got your missile launcher, and your little... Oh, look, there's somebody outside my window revving their engine.
Strange it's not my window for once.
Yeah, it's probably the same one that drove past a few minutes ago. But yeah, so you've got like the double storm bolters and the twin las cannon and the missile launcher. So it's essentially the Primaris version of the original box dreadnought. 3 sprues. But the thing is, the original box dreadnought, it didn't just come with the double las cannon and missile launcher option. There was also the assault cannon option and a dreadnought fist with the storm bolter. And I'm wondering if there may be a third sprue, or a fourth sprue rather, that has that option on it. Because
it's all very weird.
Yeah, I mean, they're not giving much away on the actual data sheets, but at the same time, we know that these sheets are incomplete.
Here's what gets me: those look very much like old sprues because everything is so spaced out on 3-1s.
Yeah.
Obviously, there's a lot of big stuff, but it seems like if that was part of a larger kit, they might have tried to cram some more options into there, some like smaller gun options and stuff. So it just looks very odd, just peculiar out with so much kind of empty space on the sprue.
Yeah, I mean, all the models in this set are supposed to be push fit, so they're basically the easy to build type. But it was towards the end of 8th or early 9th? GW then just started. They discontinued all of the easy to build Space Marine stuff.
It was the end of the edition.
More of that than the other one that was like twice the price. But yeah, I mean, this is all speculation at the moment. But going by like previous GW trends, I am wondering if there is going to be like a big super customizable version of the Ballistus Dreadnought coming out soon with this as just like a basic one just for this box. I think the model's possibly too big for it to go into one of the other starter sets. Because they tend to have like 1 HQ, 1 unit of infantry, and then it was the Outriders that they added to it in the more expensive ones for Indomitable.
Yeah, I think I get the feeling this might be one they hold back.
Yeah. You never know, in like a couple of years it might be like going on the whatever version of Imperium magazine is going at the time, and you might be able to grab it on that.
They did have a advertisement for some executive level thing designing future kits and product layouts for retail and part work magazines. This was like 5 years ago. They listed the job on their website. So it makes sense that they'd finally start designing these so for future to avoid all the crap with like Basegate with Imperium, not Basegate. Sorry, it was Basegate with Mortal Realms, and it was Warrior Gate or Sprue Gate, whatever the hell they called it when Games Workshop sent everybody 2 copies of a Sprue.
Oh yeah.
Well, we've only got like a little while longer to find out what's going to get its own individual release and what's not. So, I think that this has been a good discussion. I think we should do the Tyranid one next week. What do you think?
Yep. We will talk about the Tyranid half next week.
I can't think that far ahead right now, but I can't think that far ahead right now, so I'll have to agree to it.
Okay, well, thanks for listening. I've been the Autumn Witch, and hopefully I will continue to be.
I've been Amy, aka Warp Fiend.
I'm Peter.
Oh.
Okay, we'll catch you all next time on Bleeding Tree Gaming.
See you soon.
Bye.
I'm gonna go make pancakes.